been a hot minute since I made a Puni video where I've actually talked, and that's because there hasn't been anything for me to do until I decided to crank on stamps. And thank God, we got Salome. I could pronounce it all the time. Salome. Yeah. Yeah, Salome. I guess my brain decided it wanted to think of salmonella for some reason. Don't know why, but whatever. Anyways, character spotlight, Nijisanji edition, except we're not going to be talking about most of these characters for very long. Because, like 99.9% of events, only the top ranks are usually that good. So, we'll give a quick little spotlight to all of them, and show that they're kind of just whatever. This is Super Awakened Sophia Valentine. She is a bonus ball maker that makes, I think it's 4. She's an all-popper that makes bonus balls, 4 bonus balls, and has Revive for Shady. She's a Z rank, which means that she's not really that crazy. Like, Z rank Shady is okay, but it's nowhere near as good as double Z Shady is. But it's still fine because they have an extreme popper with Unity. They have, so they're actually they are kind of insane. So she can work, I guess. I don't know if they have a revive, but I mean, considering she's paid and it just helps you get Y points anyways, so might as well, I guess. She's cool. Whatever. Anyways, we're gonna save that, sure. And then we're going to go back to the point shop because I'm not buying this character. That is because I'm not doing that. Stop. That is because this is the character that you get after you beat 40 normals. You can spend, I think is it 4,000 or 6,000? I forgot. For gore. 6,000. 6,000 Y points and you can get Suo Sango. I think that's how you pronounce it. She is a horizontal popper that is also a Soultimate filler. Combination Soultimates, except they're kind of mid. And her second skill is pre-fill. Well, her only skill is pre-fill. So she's actually kind of good for Z-rank Heartful. I don't think it's the best like team, but they got some sauce. They have a Fast Fever Z-rank Unity character. They have Elder Bloom. Like, they got some stuff, probably. So, I mean, considering you can get her, potentially, you might use her. It's cool, whatever. I'm not buying her, but you can. If she's your favorite, she's not terrible. Anyways, this guy that plagues my cranks. Super Awakened Ibrahim? I don't know. He's got bricks in his official art for some reason. He is a center popper healer, where using other Soultimates has a chance to fill his Soultimate gauge, and he reduces the duration of the fog, you know, in Spirit, the poison thing where you, like, swipe. Yeah, he reduces that duration. Oh, he sucks. Bad first skill, considering that you don't really, you want to, you know, use him multiple times if you could heal, but his second skill literally just doesn't do anything in most stages, so pretty bad. And I'm glad because I hate this guy. I hate his kit. Anyways, next up, Super Awakened Ishigami Nozomi. I don't know. Nozomi? I don't know. She is an all-popper stunner, which already means that she's bad because her Soultimate sucks. Which sucks because she also has Link Big and reducing the normal in-spirit duration of, like, the balls. Link Big is just a good enough skill to make up for that, but because she's an all-popper stunner, she can't chain herself like normal characters and cast. You have to make sure that she doesn't pop her own Soultimate. I mean, pop her own Puni, because she's just not going to get her Soultimate. You're gonna have to Link Big again. So she's not very good. She's also Eerie on Double Z, and I don't think Eerie Double Z is very good, but they have better options than her. I can tell you that. Which kind of sucks because I think her design's kind of cool, but whatever. Next up, the last one that we're just barely going to talk about. Hanma Himawari. I don't know how that's how you pronounce it. She is an all-popper Soultimate filler with afterfill and her soul gauge fills when taking damage, which is damage fill. So, she's alright, I guess. But, like Triple Z Heartful is not very good. Really? I mean, it's kind of okay. It's got an EX popper, a Link Big Fever extender. It's got Noelle for Double Z Unity. It has Subaru for Double Z Unity and Revive, and then it's got Orihime Natsuyomi. No Fast Fever. Oh wait, it has Noelle, so it's fine. So yeah, there's just no room for her to be on the team, and even if you wanted to bring her, there are other characters that do it better. Orihime Natsuyomi, and the fact that the Fever Extender is spammable and self-sustainable. So yeah, not really too good. But her kit's fine. I thought it was just kind of mid, but like even like the niche like freaking, what you call it, the niche, like, of an afterfill Soultimate filler for score attack strategies, Amelia exists, who just kind of does it better because she is a UZ, so she hits harder. So, yeah, not very good. But anyways, now that we're done with the mediocre ones, we can talk about the one that I don't have. This is the only Nijisanji character out of the crank that I do not have. Her name is Sasaki Saku. She's the one with the panda. You can't see my taps, but like I just said, it's the one with the panda outfit. She is an all-popper rearranger with Fast Fever and Charming and Slippery Tribe Unity. However, she's a Charming tribe, so there has to be at least 2 Slippery members for the boost to be in effect. So, her kit's actually pretty good. However, Charming is just so stacked that she doesn't really have a use. However, you know, Unity is great, and double Unity can be useful if there's, like, I don't know, ever a time where Charming and Slippery are the bonuses. She can be good because she'll buff all of them. Pretty nice. So, she's cool. Usable. Pretty nice. Anyways, now characters that I actually have. This is the Super 10 reward. Kagami Hayato. He's an all-popper... he's not a popper at all. I'm stupid. I'm just so used to saying that. He's an attack booster that inflates 4 Puni, where popping large Puni can fill other Soultimate gauges, so his large Puni fills other Soultimate gauges. And then the attack boost skill, where you pop a size 4 or larger Puni of his, and it has a 70% chance to increase your attack by 2%, up to 30%. With a 70% chance of activation. I have a run, I'm just going to show you it, where I used this team right here. And it was pretty nice, considering I did it first try, and considering that the damage could be higher, because this guy has G1, and I didn't really max out his buff. But I think he's pretty good for, like, score attack, so we'll just cut over to that, and yeah. So here we have the Akane score attack strat, and what we're going to be doing is the, you know, standard tap inflator stuff. But we have Nijisanji guy, I forgot his name. I don't care to check. So this isn't really the best run because I kind of messed it up a little bit because I try to inflate this tiny little Puni at the bottom. However, every single Puni decides it wants to stop growing, and we miss probably about 2 Soultimates, which actually does cost quite a bit of damage. Especially considering they could have redropped again, but whatever. So anyways, I think he's pretty good. I don't know, it wasn't like full stacks that he had. He wasn't like done getting his attack buff up. But I think, you know, consider it for score attack strats, I think he's pretty good. Like, you don't want too much redrop because then, like, you just can't even get into fever time because your characters just keep redropping and you don't want them to. So about 3 redrop characters feels about right, in my opinion. So I think that Akane plus, what's his face, does pretty good. And considering that he'll be buffing up himself permanently every time you get into fever time, I think that's pretty good. So overall, I would say pretty good, especially because I keep saying just the same thing over and over again, because there's not really much else to say. I mean, you've seen my score attack video, hopefully. You should go watch that in case you haven't. But my dog's walking in, because that's what he does. So, yeah. He's level 10, by the way. If I were to max him out, max his G-Soultimate, max all their G-Soultimates, then we would hit, like, damage cap. I'll go ahead and spoil that. We're gonna get, like, I think it's 75k. I mean, 75 million. Not 75k. That would be pathetic. 75 million. So, again, Dismeralda is insanely good because, you know, she has her Soultimate ready all the time. And, yeah. So we're getting kind of close. We're getting kind of lucky with redrops being able to continue, but that luck just kind of runs out. I could have inflated one of those Puni, I realized, but it doesn't really matter because we don't get either redrops. But then we do this, we pop this, then we pop, you know, the final Soultimate we do. If I was a robot with TAS level reactions, I could do this, pop 1, and then there's a redrop right there. I could have gotten that. Would have been another Soultimate. Would have been about 80 million. So, yeah. By the way, you can stop at like 30 million because there's a Y money cap of 32,942. Alright, score attack stuff done. Now we can get to the real characters. So, first up, the easiest one that we can talk about is Hoshikawa Sara. She is an all-popper Inflate 4 that has Easy Link and Drop Big. So, pretty spammable, considering that that Drop Big Inflate 4s are pretty cool. So, we're going to put her on this team, and we're going to replace her. And basically, she's obviously not good enough for, like, normal Charming. However, if you were, fighting a Seal stage or something, she can actually be pretty useful. Because, you can just link a bunch of Puni with Natsune, and then you can just, spam her. But, I don't know, let's say that you don't have Lazaria or something, but you somehow have the rest of these characters. Let's see what sort of shenanigans you could do. However, that requires me to have my EX Popper Soultimate. But thankfully, because we'll be able to Fever Extend and then start spamming Sara's, it'll be fine. So granted, she's level 50 here, so obviously the numbers can go higher. And because we have Komaki Komami, we have redrops. So now we can do this. Do this. Do this. And then Shuka and finish it off. I don't know how many Soultimates that was, put it up on screen. But considering we did 2 million damage in that many Soultimates and she's level 50 G3, if you were to max her out, she could actually be really spammable. And Easy Link is very nice as a support skill considering she already has Drop Big. I think she's pretty good. Obviously not meta. Obviously. But if you have her and you have a halfway decent Charming team, there's a lot of Seal stages you'll be able to beat. So pretty good. This is a pretty good kit that doesn't push the meta, but it's still really good. I hiccuped. My bad. Anyways, now we're going to talk about the Throne stage. Shina Yuika, however you pronounce it. A lot of these characters are level 50, except these two are level 59 because I'm broke. I spent my last Y points getting Salome, so. Anyways, Shina Yuika is an all-popper that has a chance to deal critical damage with Fever Fill and the HP attack skill. So basically, the higher HP is, the more damage he's going to do. This, in my opinion, is the worst kit in the game. Not the most terrible kit. There are kits that literally just do nothing. However, this kit will cause you more frustration than any other kit in the game. Because not only do you have to go fast in order to deal with her HP condition, but you also have to make sure that you're, lucky with the crits. Because otherwise, she doesn't do very much damage. There's some people who will, say, oh, the HP skill is if she doesn't crit. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. She is meant to do insane damage sometimes. But if we were to just build a Slippery team, we're going to go ahead and put on the Slippery watch. Just so that way you can see the stats go up in real time. So anyways. Kagure Zochten, Ryuta, Asu, Twin Dragon God Ryu. This would be the Kyra instead if you had him. And then we put on Santa Yu, and then you realize something. Wait a minute, there's no room for her. So, the character that you would have to replace would basically have to be Asu, because Kagure Zochen's your fast Fever, and you want to get into Fever time fast, so that way she can have as much damage as possible. She is G1, so keep that in mind whenever I show her damage. The problem comes in that this is a terrible Soultimate. I hate the skill because I can't test it, really, especially against this throne, because it nerfs non-Nijisanjis. So, and because we don't get countered, we're going to have an unrealistic amount of HP. So in this, perfect world scenario, let's see how much damage we can do. So we're going to EX pop, and now we're going to do this. Then we're going to Fever Extend. So we have the whole, 128% combo and 128% damage boost. So at 338, I can pull up a calculator. So we went from 338 to 781, basically. So 781 minus 338, minus. She did 443,000 damage right there at level 50 G1. And that can go higher if you have Kyra. That's with a crit, by the way. So if we wanted to absolutely insanely highball it with Kyra and with her maxed out, she should be able to do around 1,000,000 damage in a Soultimate. That is 100% not true. It's probably going to be more like 700k at least. I really don't know. But remember, we didn't get countered there, so actually the amount of damage she just did is not real at all. So what I have to do now is waste 100 of my valuable score attack points, and by valuable I mean worthless. I was saving in case they put golden claws in here, but obviously they're never going to update this again. They realize that they can start selling these bosses as paid characters, and now they're never going to give us anything for free. Because of course. So anyways, we're going to go to this stage, because this is the only permanent stage that counters me that I think actually does somewhat decent damage. So anyways, now we're going to see how much damage she can actually do. Except I have a pretty terrible board, so we're just going to have to suck it up and deal with it, because, well, obviously that just happens sometimes, you know. The world isn't a perfect place. Especially not for an HP-based, RNG-based Soultimate. So now that we're at, you know, quote-unquote realistic HP levels, let's see how much damage she's going to do now. So 348 to, so 730. We'll just pause that. 730 minus 348. She did 382,000. So you can already see that's a massive decrease. And if we were to highball that, again, that's probably actually like 700k. We'll go ahead and add 12% to that damage. And that gets to 428,000 basically. So, yeah. And then if we were to increase that by, I don't know, probably a good 40%. Then she would be doing 600k. I don't know if she would actually be doing 600% more damage. Let me see if this is... So her max attack is 1776. So yeah, she 100%. She 100% does not get a 40% damage increase, but even if she did, it would only be 600,000 damage. Which sounds like a lot, obviously, considering that that Neko Elzamekia for the Heartful team apparently could do like 500k. And considering this character could do 600k, that would be pretty good. But again, we're highballing it. But you have to realize that 600k, even if you do it 3 times, that's not even enough to kill a throne by itself. If you were to Fever Extend and then do her 3 times, then it would work. But she doesn't have a kit to make herself go 300 and go 3 times. She has Fever Fill, which can be used once. So, you know, her kit, it sounds like it would be pretty good, but obviously it's not. But what if we were to replace Asu? I mean, what if we were to replace Kagure Zuchten with Asu? Because now we have the attack buff skill, and we still have a Fever Extender because of Seiryu. I'm going to hate myself for this. I want you to know that. I am causing self-harm to myself, basically, because of content. So anyways, now we're getting the attack buff skill. Oh man, I almost got a pretty decent one. So we'll just see how much damage we can do here. So that's 1 Soultimate. That's 2 Soultimates. 3 Soultimates. And we didn't get the crit. Yeah. Forgot to mention that. She can not crit. Because of course. There we go, we got a crit. And finish off with that. And we did highballed 1.8 million damage. 1.8 million, that is a good almost 300,000 damage away from killing a throne. Now, if we were to increase that 1.8 million by the 12% that that Cairo would give, then that means we are at 2 million and we would have enough HP to kill. So, obviously, that's just barely good enough to get it done. But why would I not just bring Kagure Zulchitin? Let me just build a normal, like, slippery team and just show you the kinds of things that they would normally be capable of. So put up how many Soultimates that was for we'll highball and say 1.9 million, even though that's not even close to what it would be. Probably. I don't know. Oh yeah, we missed the critical hit. We did miss a crit, which actually that actually was pretty impressive damage now that I think about it. Now that I use my brain that I barely use, we actually did quite a decent chunk of damage, considering she's only level 50 G1. But it was a pain because, you know, no fast fever. I mean, it's not like I get into fever time fast anyways, but, like, still. So now what we can do is fun strats. Oh man, come on, I had that. Now we get to do the fun Asu spam, where we build up his attack stat insanely. And one more Soultimate. I could have done more if I did a Seiryu, but there we go. Don't know how many Soultimates that was, but it was a heck of a lot easier and a heck of a lot faster. So about 2 million damage, basically, if I did Seiryu instead of Santayu. And it was a lot quicker, too. So she's usable, but, you know, considering she's a crit Soultimate, and she can fail, yeah, I don't really like that. She's funny, I'll give her that, but I would not recommend using her. You will give yourself a headache. That is self-harm. Stop it. Get some help. Anyways, now we move on to Businessman, except his name is Yashiro Kizuku. I guess that's how you pronounce it. He is a combo popper. I guess I have to stop calling them 100 combo poppers because now he needs a combo of 128, which is not very much. Because if you just do a G Soultimate, you get like 120 at least. And considering that you're probably popping a lot of Puni to get into Fever Time anyways, you're going to have a 128 combo. I promise. And it's especially not that bad for Shady because, well, Shady's pretty good. So let's take a look at the Shady team right now. We'll put EX Popper her on the team. And then we'll put, what's we say? Yeah, so we have 17,000 HP with the revive, and then perma bonuses would bring that up to like 18,000. So, I think that's pretty good. And he's only at level 60. By the way, he's a combo popper with redrop and Unity, so he has Unity, aka one of the best skills in the game. So, I'd say he's pretty good. I don't know about you, but I keep hiccuping. Yeah. So anyways, what we can do is get in fever. Yep. Now we're going to do this. Now, a big problem with him is that he doesn't really have a skill to get his Soultimate ready. So, it's kind of hard to get it because he doesn't, you know, have anything to help us. But let's see. We have done... what was that? 4 Soultimates? Almost 1 million damage and 4 Soultimates. I think that that's pretty good. But we can do better. Because we're going to put on actual Shady. A.k.a. Jane. Yeah, Jane is still used, and we are going to be kicking off Suisse. I'm sorry to say. Anyways, he's level 60 now, but I don't have any Y points. So we did just do 1,000,000 damage there, considering that he's not even level 90. He's G3, I think. Yeah, G3. So now we're going to put Halloween Jane on the team, and then we're going to put on Peko because I like Peko. Even though we lose a whole 1,000 HP, because, you know, Hollow Unity is really good, Jane's going to solve that, not only by guarding, but also being able to heal, and then doing insane damage in one counter. So, yeah, I really don't think that losing 1,000 HP in exchange for Jane, I really don't think that's too much of a downgrade. Shady is still insanely good, and I love it, because, you know, I have it now. I didn't like it when I didn't have it, because, you know, they suck, like, even with the best characters that they have. I just realized something. I'm too strong. Anyways, alright, let's go. So now, we're going to Fever Extend. And as you can see, we have his Soultimate ready. Now, I did this in my video just showcasing this guy specifically, but we're going to do a ton of damage in a very short amount of time. So that's, what, 5 Soultimates that I've just done? And we've already killed a Throne Stage if I had him maxed. So, obviously, the next logical thing to do is his Soultimate a 3rd time. Yes! Thank God I got that, bro. And then a Peko just for good measure. And then what is that? When he's maxed, that would be probably 2.75 million. So, we overkilled by about 700,000 damage. In like, how many Soultimates was that? If I did 5 Soultimates and killed, so then we did the 6, 7, 8 Soultimates. I just did 2.75 million damage in 8 Soultimates. I think Brave can do a little bit more, but they can't heal and guard. But they have Fast Fever, but the Fast Fever sucks. So, and you can obviously optimize that more and get like some friggin' Miyabis in there. So overall, I really like him. I like his kit. I like him. He's pretty strong when he's fully maxed out. Let me see what his multiplier is. So he has the base 171 point multiplier right here. Then over 128 combo, he gets an additional 237 point combo. So a 408 point multiplier. But that's ignoring the fact that you also just straight up get the 128 combo percent. Now, for the final character, we have the UZ Plus, who has a really difficult name to pronounce. The name is Hyakumantenbara Salome. I think I said that right. Hyakumantenbara Salome. Hyakumantenbara Salome. She is an EX popper of the Mysterious team, with Link Big, and then the second skill of either Pre-Fill or the Ohajiki bonus. Now, Link Big and Pre-Fill are very redundant together, so I would recommend the Ohajiki skill. And her center skill, because she's the UZ+, is boosting every Mysterious character's attack by 2%, that is increasing their damage by 1% in practice, but then her 8% HP, which is pretty good. So we're going to go to the Mysterious team right here, and we're going to put her on the team, just like this, and we're going to see that we are going to lose stats. I'm not sure if her being level 100 is going to make that up, but yeah, there's kind of a problem in the team, and that's if you're running Asu and Anniversary Mika, the team's already pretty good as is. So let's go ahead and try it out. This is going to be my first time using the character, because I just haven't. Well, first time on the Mysterious team. I did a couple of runs on the Throne stage to make sure my auto would still work. And yeah. So anyways, a lot of people, mainly just Coma Bro on the server, were like, oh, Coma Bro had, like, oh, her Soultimate, like, her Puni looks the exact same as Okayu's. I mean, right there, I kind of messed them up, but then again, I wasn't even looking at them, so it didn't really matter. But it didn't really seem that bad to me. in practice, so. Anyways. So that's 2 Soultimates. This will be 3 Soultimates. This will be 4 Soultimates. This is 5. This is 6 Ultimates. We still got 10 links anyway, so it doesn't even matter. What was that? 6? 7? Is it 7? 8. Basically, we did 2 million damage. We did enough to kill a throne in 8 Ultimates. And then finish it off with that. So if we were to increase that damage by what I think it would probably be about 2.4 million damage, which is a pretty rough estimate. I don't know. Again, I'm not too big of a calculation expert. I just know how like the damage multipliers work. So 2 million damage in 8 Ultimates, I think. If it wasn't actually 8, put up the number, please. But now we're going to put Asu and Mika back on the team and see how much damage they do then. We get a little bit more HP, and we get a second Fast Fever. We get the ability to do Fever Loops. You know, we get a lot of things by doing this. So let's see how much damage we can do now. That wasn't really optimal for, like, the other team, but it's not even to mention the fact that the damage would increase because everybody's damage would universally increase because that's how, like, multipliers work. So that's 1 Soultimate, 2 Soultimates, you just try to get Asu. 3 Soultimates, 4 Soultimates, 5 Soultimates with the most terrible linking you've never seen. 6 Soultimates. 7 Soultimates. And 8 Soultimates. So in 8 Soultimates, they do just a little bit less, it seems like. Just a little bit less, but they have more HP. And I don't know how much of a difference it is. And that wasn't really optimal because I didn't get 2 Asus Ultimates. So let's see if I can get 2 Asus Ultimates to go, because then they will outdamage them, I can already tell. I cannot wait for the grindable next event. I cannot wait. It's gonna be so nice having Y points. Oh my god, maybe I'll do a sequel video? Maybe? I don't know. Where, like, I actually have their Y, like, you know, the points to max out the characters and have them do their things. You know, like a normal person. So anyways, I got a crap ton of Asus. I can't link around, it seems. So anyways, now, EX Pop, Asu Fever Extend. 2 Ultimates, right in 400k. 3 Ultimates. 4 Ultimates. 5 Ultimates. 6 Ultimates. 7 Ultimates. Doesn't look like I'll be able to get enough. Yeah, no, just barely not enough. 8 Ultimates. Yeah. And if I did a 9th Ultimate, it would have done enough. Was that 8 or was that actually 7? I really don't know. But either way, Salome she seems pretty good considering that, you know, we're matching this team's damage. It doesn't really matter which of the teams you pick. They have their strengths and weaknesses. Strengths being like, you can do double fevers if you want to. Strengths of this team being like, it's pretty freaking easy to use them, seems like. They're about the same team. Mysterious is pretty good. And the main thing with Salome is that she doesn't get in the way of drop bigs, and she doesn't, like, struggle to get her Soultimate like Blue Sky Helmet Suzaku. Now, Blue Sky Helmet Suzaku and, Mika, you know, they have their strengths and weaknesses. Salome is just, like, the good vanilla option. And I appreciate that. So there you go. As you can see, I didn't even have her Soultimate ready, and there we go. Now we do. 1 Soultimate. 2 Soultimates. 3 Soultimates. 4 Soultimates. 5 Soultimates. 6 Soultimates. 7 Soultimates. 8 Soultimates. So yeah, they do about the same damage. Actually, no, we do way more damage because she's level 60 G1. So Salome actually might be doing more damage, which makes Asu... There's no way they power crept him that fast. I had to have done 7 Soultimates. We're going to try one more time. I might be doing 9 Soultimates here. Again, editor me will be putting up the actual numbers in case I'm not saying the right number, but... Overall, yeah, Salome's pretty good. That's not even to mention she has permanent Ohajiki like this. She's this good, and she can be in permanent Ohajiki bonus, which, I mean, I think is kind of... I used to think was kind of overrated, but now that we have like 7 gajillion of them, it's cool. Because it helped me win this event. Which also meant that perma bonuses helped me get Salome. So, Salome maybe will return the favor one day and help me get someone else. Maybe, I don't freaking know. Considering that we also have Rimuru, who is also a permanent Ohajiki character, but is basically a slave to have it, I'd say that's pretty cool. So anyways, now we're going to actually like keep track. So that's 1. That's 2. I'm putting numbers on my computer so I can freaking see it. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. So we actually do a lot less damage with this team. So that's pretty interesting, I think. That's pretty interesting. You know, we're doing less damage with this team, even though we should probably be doing about the same damage. But now that I think about it, yeah, Arle's still pretty good. So even though, like, so Arle is, she's back, because that's how unities work. You can't exactly just kill a unity unless it's with another unity. So whichever version of the team you want to play, they're basically the same. Especially considering that she's, you know, level 60 and we're already matching the damage that she's doing. Like, we're already surpassing the best free-to-play team. So, yeah. Salome's pretty good. Very glad that I went out of my way to get her because I'm pretty impressed with what I see. So anyways, yeah, the Nijisanji event was pretty cool. I think it was pretty good. She says her little Desuwa thing. That's what she does. It's like her catchphrase. And I saw a clip where she swears and then finishes off with Desuwa. That's pretty funny in all honesty. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed and hope you're gonna enjoy that Sudokai coming Friday. Please, Chan, I beg you.